Our first move, I had this discussion with myself. I talked to myself, and I decided that the twist, the twist is like maybe one of the best exercises of all time. So this is my conclusion, and so therefore we're going to start with a little twist. We're going to twist our hips. We're going to twist our ribs. We're going to let our arms move a little bit. We're going to let our knees move a little bit. We're going to let our feet move a little bit. Let everything just kind of move and groove. And then just notice how everything's feeling. And this is going to give you a lot of information. So if your energy level is high, you might start to pick up the pace a little bit. But if your energy level is low, you might choose to slow it down a little bit. And then if you're going a little slow, you might tune in. Notice that nice movement that happens in the abdominal muscles, the oblique muscles, and then your energy is getting up just a little bit. We got 20 seconds left. And then if you're getting real fancy, you might choose to pick a leg up and see how your balance is feeling this morning. Move your hip joint a little bit. 12 seconds left. And time. Okay, nicely done. All right, now we're going to move on and start with just an opposite hand to opposite foot. We're staying in the front to start. Just a little external rotation of that leg, and then just kind of tuning in. How's everything feeling? All right, now switch to same hand, same foot, which means that reduces the external rotation, and you're just touching down with a little bit of a high knee. Nice, 10 more seconds here. All right, now we're taking it to the back, and we're going opposite hand to opposite foot. And if you like here, you're gonna let your head move with you and kind of look towards your foot. So that's gonna add that little bit of side body bend. Hey, Linda's here. Good morning, Linda. All right, now take it into same hand, same foot, but doing that same work from behind. And time, nicely done. Okay, we're taking it right into some front kicks. Nothing fancy, just pick one leg up, kick it, and then pick up the other leg. And then here is one of the places where if speed is for you this morning, you might choose to pick up the pace. But it's not necessary. We just want to kind of tune in, get the legs moving, get the knee joint moving. Notice where your balance is at. All right, now we're going to switch it to some side kicks, which means your body weight is going to move a little bit with you. Nice. And it's just that same little flick out from the knee. So you're getting that nice little gluteus medius activated and then flicking out from the knee. 2 more seconds here. All right, now we're going to take it into some rear kicks, which means you're going to shift your body weight forward slightly, pick up one leg, kick it behind you, pick up the other leg, kick it behind you, and it doesn't need to look like anything special. We just want to get the legs moving. 5 more seconds. And time. Awesome job. Okay, grab one single heavy weight. All right, we're going to get a little fancy with our halos today. So as we take our halo towards the leg that's going to be in front, so we're going to hover around, take it towards that front leg hip, step back into a lunge. Step that foot in, reverse, take it to the other side, over to the other hip, step back into a little lunge. Circle around the other way, take it to the opposite hip, step back, take it into a little lunge. We got 1 minute on the clock. Go as slow or as fast as feels right to you. This is not one of our speed rounds if you're going for speed today. But like I said, I left all the speed rounds off today just so we don't get tired of it. And our workout's always fun. So keep this one slow and mindful. Circle around your head, over to your hip, step back into a lunge. Beautiful, you guys. Nice work. "23 seconds left. You got this." And time. Awesome job. Stick with that single weight, but now we're just going to load it up at the chest. You're going to hold on tight. And now for 30 seconds, step one leg back, and we're just holding that lunge, dipping your knee down and lifting it back up. You go to a depth that feels good to you. You want to get those quadriceps working, get those muscles burning, keep a nice little lift in your chest so we're not hinged forward too much. Nice work. 10 more seconds on this leg. All right, switch your feet and then right back to it. Dip that knee down and come right back up. Beautiful. And time. Nicely done. Okay, step that leg and give everything a shake. Switch over to 2 light weights or grab your second heavyweight. That'll be totally up to you. But now we're going to move back into that lunge. So step your right foot back, left foot forward. But now we're going to kind of get a little bit of a Tai Chi movement going on. So we're going to lean back into that back leg, push the arms forward, lean into the front leg. Lean back, pull the weights with you, lean forward and push the weights out. We got 30 seconds on this side. Let your hips kind of move with you. So as you lean forward, your hips are going to tilt forward. And then as you lean back, you're going to get that little curl of the tailbone under. So the backs of the legs help support that movement. Beautiful, you guys. Nice work. All right, now we're going to switch our feet, but everything else is going to stay the same. So switch your feet, lean back, lean forward, push out. As you lean back, you pull the weights in. Nice. Three seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Okay, set your weights down or off to the side. Now we're going to take it into a squat, but we're going to take it hands behind the head. So wide squat position, toes slightly externally rotated, hands behind the head. We're going to push our head into our hands, hands into our head. So we're going to maintain that nice tight posture in the back. Think butt back, bend your knees. As you hold that squat for a moment, you're going to lift the hands about 2 inches away from the head, bring them back to the head, and rise up. We got 1 minute on the clock, and you're taking that at your pace. So we're going to sit back into that squat, hands released away from the head, back to the head, rise yourself back up. Beautiful. Lift the hands away, bring them back in. And as you lift your hands away, try to keep everything else as stable as you can. So legs are steady, back is steady, abdominal muscles slightly pulled in. So you keep your core nice and tight. Nice work. We got 10 seconds left. You got this. And time. Nice job. Release your arms, give them a good shake, a little wiggle. Okay, we're going to go back to a squat, but now grab your hand weights. And this is one of the ones that if you want speed round, you can go for speed with this. Just make sure that you stay safe in your body if you're going for speed. So a nice wide squat position. We're going to reach down, touch the ground, load up to the chest, overhead press. That's all we're doing. We got 1 minute on the clock. You go as fast or as slow as you like here. But as you're taking that squat, think butt back, bend your knees, but we're keeping the chest and the chin lifted. Abdominal muscles are squeezed in, so you keep your low back protected. Beautiful work, you guys. Nice job. Twenty seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, hang on to those weights if you want to. Last round of squats here. Now you're going to step your feet a little closer, toes and knees pointing forward. So we're going to still think butt back, bend your knees, but now we're going to hold that squat, lift one knee, lift the other knee, both feet down on the ground, rise back up. Butt back, bend your knees, one knee, the other knee, and then set it down. If you want a speed round, this is one that you could do safely. But if you're not going for speed this morning, focus on that balance. You might hold your knee for a second longer, engaging the core, and then rising back up. Nice. Twenty seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Give your legs a little shake. Give your toes a little wiggle. All right, now we're going to take it into a bent over reverse fly. So feet about hip width distance apart, a little hip hinge, lean your chest forward. Arms are going to hang down, palms facing in towards each other. We're going to open the arms nice and wide, lower them with control. So think about pulling up and lowering down with the same amount of control. Lift up, feel that little squeeze right at the top, lower it down nice and slow. Keep your abdomen pulled in slightly so that you're not slouching into the low back and the butt's not sticking way up. So pull the belly in, open the arms wide, lower them with control. This can be a lot in some shoulders. So if the weight is too much, leave the weight off and just work range of motion. It'll still increase your strength here, but maybe with not so much heft. And then you start to build your strength up as you go. But if all is feeling good, we got 20 seconds left. Nice and steady. And time. Awesome job. Rise up, give everything a little shake. All right, now back into our shoulders. So it's going to be a lateral raise, lower down, calf raise, lift your heels. A 45 raise, lower down, calf raise, lower down. Straight out to the front, lower down, calf raise. And then we're just going to take it back through. So it's going to be a lateral 45 out to the front and then back out to the side. But in between each move, add your calf raise. Make sure you're raising your heels as high as you can control and lowering them with that same amount of control. So we're going to keep the belly slightly firm. Nice. Shoulders down away from the ears so we're not picking up too much tension in the upper body. This is another one that if we've got any mischievous shoulders, you might choose to leave the weights off. So you just start to work range of motion. And then as you build your strength, then you add your weights on. And time. Nice work. Okay, next up is our Renegade Row. So I'm going to demo it on a flat surface, but know that that plank position can be done at the low side of your chair. So it's going to be an overhead press. You're going to take your hand weights down to the ground, step back to your plank position, give a row on one side, give a row on the other side, step forward and back up to your overhead press. If you're on a surface where you're slippy, place your weights down and then put your hands on the ground. But if you're on a sticky mat and your weights can grip it, awesome, you can hold on to your weights, but only if that's safe. If you're working from the low side of the chair, you're just going to bring your hands to the chair. You'll step back either, just one lunge and then the other, come up to that overhead press, or you'll step back to a plank position, shoulder tap, back up and into your overhead press. Whichever variation you're choosing, just make sure you stay safe, pace yourself. You're already halfway there. Nice work. Beautiful, you guys. 13 seconds left. And time. Nice job. Okay, come down onto the ground into a tabletop position. Move your weights just a little bit out of the way. Start with your just hovering table. That might be the place for you this morning. You're just going to pull the abdominal muscles in, lift your knees, release them back down. If you want a little bit more, you're going to take it into a bear kick through. So you're going to reach one leg out, pick one arm up, and then over to the other side. You'll kick one leg through, but you're going to do the variation that works good for you this morning. If you're just getting over a cold or you got the sniffles, that hovering table, just lifting the knees might be quite enough. But if it feels good and you want that little extra, take that little kick through. If you want something that's a little between the two, hover your table, hold it, pick one arm up and then the other. So you're working with that transfer of weight, but maybe in a range of motion that is more accessible to you this morning. So just make sure that you're working at a pace and a level that feels good to you. Nice work, you guys. 15 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Okay, back to your tabletop position. It's going to be 30 seconds on one leg, 30 seconds on the other. And this is for hip mobility, hip range of motion. So it's not for speed. It's not for stamina. It's just to work the range of motion in the hip. So you're going to slowly lift the leg out to the side, flex your foot, circle it around. Try to keep your knee fairly level with your hip. Lower it down with control. Reach that knee out to the side, reach the heel up towards the ceiling. Try to keep the knee level with the hip. Try to keep your hips as solid as you can, so they're not going way akimbo as you lift that leg up, which means you might reduce your range of motion if your hips are wiggling all over the place with you. We got 10 more seconds on this leg. Beautiful work, you guys. Nice job. All right, set that leg down, switch over to the other side. Pick it up out to the side, swing it around, lower your knee with control. Try to keep your hips fairly level. Yes, nice job. Five seconds left. Woo, and time. All right, we're going to take it up into a high kneel. This is going to work into the triceps a little bit. So in that high kneel position, we're just going to alternate a chest bump. So we're going to try to keep a slightly firm belly, bringing the weights up to the opposite shoulder, lowering it back down with control. And then as you lower it back down, maybe you engage that farmer's carry. So you're not letting your hands touch your side body. You're going to hold them out about 4 inches away from the hips. so the arms stay engaged the whole time. We bump across the chest. Don't hurt yourself. Just come to that close position where you touch the shoulder and then right back down. Nice work. Fifteen seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Okay, set your weights a little off to the side. We're going to spin around onto our butt and take our legs into a butterfly position, but we're going to be on our back all the way down. So you can either bring your feet together here or once you get down on the ground, but we're going to move right into some butterfly crunches. So soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. Hands are going to reach out in front of the chest. If you want a little extra, you could always load up your weights here. But we're going to crunch up and lower down. Exhale as you crunch up. Think about pulling the abdominal muscles down. Inhale as you release those muscles. This is one of those areas, if you want a little speed, you can take this a lot faster if you want to. But if you're not going for speed this morning, maybe you just focus on finding that contraction of the abdominal muscles. That's where all the work's happening. And then finding that release with control. 20 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, we're going to keep our legs in that butterfly position, but now bring your arms down. Elbows are going to press into the ground. We're going to use our elbows for leverage, and we're going to take it into some butterfly hip bridges. Soles of the feet together. We're going to lift the hips away from the floor, squeeze the glutes, lower back down with control. Lift up, squeeze, lower down. You got it. Take it as fast or as slow as you like. This is another one. If you've got good form, if you feel like both hips lift evenly, you might choose to go for speed here just to get some extra reps in. But if you're liking that focused work, pay attention to your hips. If one seems to be the driver and one's the passenger, can you get them both to engage at the same time? Lift up at an even position and lower with that same even position. Use that little press between the soles of your feet to engage those inner thigh muscles. We got 10 seconds left. And time. Nice job. Okay, now we're going to keep the soles of the feet together, but lift those legs up. And here your toes are going to separate, heels are going to stay together. We're going to bring hands behind the head, lift the upper torso into a crunch position, and you're going to hold and maintain that crunch position if you can. And now you're going to keep that lifted position, send your legs out long, keep the heels together, pull the knees back in, keep the heels together, push the legs out long, pull it back in. You have the option to release your torso between each move if that feels better to go that way. But if you can keep it lifted, keep those core muscles nice and tight. As you pull those knees in, focus on pulling the abdominal muscles down towards your spine. So we just want to avoid that doming up of the belly. And when I say doming up the belly, if it looks like a triangle position, because sometimes even when we crunch up, although the abdominal muscles are pulling down, sometimes it looks like our fatty tissue is doming. We are really strictly looking for that triangle shape. 10 seconds left. And time. Nice job. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. From here, we're going to take it into a dead bug. with alternating fire hydrants or reverse fire hydrants. So arms are going to be straight up from the chest, belly pulling down towards the ground. So we're going to make that back nice and solid. Legs in that dead bug position. One leg is going to drop out to the side and then the other. As the leg drops out to the side, everything else is going to stay as stable and stationary as it can. So as you drop that knee out, think about pulling the abdominal muscles down, reaching through the fingertips to the arms, stay solid. Nice work. You're going to drop that leg out just as far as you can control, which might mean an inch or two, or it might mean a big drop. So that'll just be totally up to your range of motion. Everybody in this room is going to have different external rotation in the hips. So don't worry about what my shape looks like. Worry about what your shape feels like. Ten seconds left. Nice work, you guys. Ooh, Karen, nice form. Yes. And time. You guys are amazing. Okay, now we're going to grab a light set of weights, sticking with that dead bug configuration. So we're going to hold that dead bug. Now the legs are going to stay stable, and we're going to give it into a chest press. So we're going to press up towards the ceiling. Palms are going to face in towards each other. One hand is going to reach up and overhead. Bring it back up with control. The other hand is going to reach up and overhead. Bring it back up with control. Flip the palms, find your chest press, and then back to it. So we're going to hold those legs in that dead bug position. Give a chest press, an alternating reach up and overhead. As you do that alternating reach, there's where you're really going to find that core work. So think about pulling the belly button down towards the spine. As you reach your thumb up and overhead, you can leave the weights up. We can leave the weights off here if the weights have become a little too much, and just use your open hand. Thumb is going to touch overhead, the other thumb. You're still going to get all of that core work. So don't worry if you decide to put the weights down. "13 seconds left. Nice work. And time. Awesome job. Set your weights off to the side. Our last minute of work, all we're doing is some alternating knee pulls, and you're going to choose your own adventure as to whether or not you want that little bit of core activation to go along with this movement. So one knee is going to pull in towards the chest. The other leg is going to reach out nice and long. And then if you want that little extra bit of abdominal work, you're going to pull the chest and chin up, keep the abdominal muscles pulling down, keep that lifted chest and chin, and then just maintain those alternating knee pulls. But if you've had enough in the core today, relax your head down and think of this as just a little cool down move and a light little stretch. All right, the next time your right knee comes into your chest and your left leg goes nice and long, hold on to that knee, relax your head down if you're doing that crunched position. And now we're going to take that right knee over to the left. So think a little spinal twist. Reach that right knee over, reach your right hand out nice and wide. Take a couple nice big breaths here. When you're ready, pull the right knee in, bring the left knee into meet. So both knees are going to give a little squeeze at the chest, and then hold on to your left knee, let your right leg go nice and long. And now we're going to take that spinal twist over to the other side. Reach it across the body, let your left arm open wide. Nicely done. Pull that knee back into the chest, bring the right knee into meet, and then we're just going to rock and roll up to a seated position. So come on up And then once you're up into that seated position, just send your legs out nice and long to a nice upright seat. As much of a bend in your knees as you like. Take a big breath, reach up and overhead, reach towards your toes. Hang out here for a second, just create a little space for your belly and your chest, make sure everything feels good, and then soften just a little bit further into that folded position. Nice, and then when you're ready, come up nice and slow. We're gonna spin the legs around so we find our way through a tabletop position. Pause in your tabletop position, curl both sets of toes under, pull your butt back to your heels. This is just a little stretch to the toes and the bottoms of the feet. And specifically, it's for my next round of stick work. So if you're coming for the stick class, we're gonna work the feet just a little bit. All right, one more breath here. And then when you're ready, lift your butt away from your heels. We're gonna come up into a folded position. So lift your butt up, step your feet in, walk your hands towards your feet, let your head drop nice and heavy. Take one more big breath here. And then bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position, shrug out your shoulders. You guys are amazing. Awesome work today. Grab your stick if you're sticking around.